look, I got a bunch of calls, people that are holding, people like Nichols and Val and Marty and Jay and Dan. I'm going to get to you. We're going to have Kaiser on at the 8 after, second segment of the next hour. But I need to go ahead and get to this news, because we're so close to Agenda 21 and global corporate governance and corporatocracy and all this that we tend to not cover it when it finally goes mainstream, when we're validated and just confirmed to be absolutely on target yet again. But here's Kurt Nimmo's article about it. Obama's CFR Economic Council Director calls for global tax. And if you think he spoke incorrectly, Politico links to it. So does Fact Check and others. And they were talking about global tax, global government, and are calling for all of it. Davos called for it. Ban Ki-moon last week, head of the UN, called for it. That's Kurt Nimmo's article on that. Here is Weekly Standard, also has a similar headline. White House Economic Advisor, we need a global minimum tax. And then dovetailing with that, UN may get global carbon tax on air travel to avert trade war. Now, because the Chinese are refusing to be part of it, the Financial Times of London and others are reporting that, they'll just get a global agreement on the global tax that they just called for. They use a problem and our reaction as the solution. They've also got new bills out to track everything you're doing in real time. It's already going on, but they want to just legalize it. That's out of the Montreal Gazette. Bill provokes privacy fears. Net cell phone police could probe without warrant. I mean, it's all happening. Tyranny is moving in every nation right now as it's global corporate standardization. But these reports about his economic council director saying global minimum tax, a global government to standardize taxes at one level and have a global tax on top of it, all out in the open right now. And so next time you're a police officer and they call you into the briefing room and are reading to you ADL and Southern Poverty Law Center anti-American garbage, stand up and go, well, here's the Associated Press calling for global government. What is this? Break the trance. Stop letting the traitors that have hijacked the country turn you against the American people. I mean, it's coming down to it. When they start staging terror attacks that could be any time if we don't get the word out, they're going to start trying to clamp down on the press. The globalists are going for broke. Let's go to this clip. Here it is. Here's the economic advisor calling for the global minimum tax.
He supports corporate tax reform that would reduce expenditures and loopholes, lower rates for people investing and creating jobs in the U.S., do so further for manufacturing, and that we need to, as we have the Buffett rule and the individual tax reform, we need a global minimum tax so that people have the assurance that nobody is escaping doing their fair share as part of a race to the bottom, or having our tax code actually subsidize and facilitate people moving their funds to tax havens.
All right, let's stop right there.
We will say.
It goes on and on, the full clips at Infowars.com. Get it out to everybody. The globalists set up the system where the mega rich are exempt. They set up the system for tax incentives to move jobs overseas. They set up on record the entire system they're discussing, and globalism, which is the race to the bottom. Doesn't even build up China, who is the bottom. Doesn't build up Mexico, who's close to the bottom. It drives those wages down in the aggregate as well. It's about a consolidation of power, transferring out of the free market through crony inside deals into a corporate fascist managed Agenda 21 sustainable global grid, in their own words, a post-industrial world, a post-family world. Then they sick the social workers on you when you're out of work and take your kids. This is the stated plan in their documents. So they're now going to save you from the globalism they've created with a global authority to set global minimum taxes and raise taxes on the rich. The problem is the ultra-rich will still be exempt. They mean sick them on business owners, millionaires, people making a couple $100,000 a year that actually keep the economy going. It's always the ultra-rich sicking the government on their competition. And that's what the Buffett rule does. That's what this global minimum tax. They say in the OECD, that's the model of this, that was the group, the corporation that was set up to take over Europe during Reconstruction, during the Marshall Plan. It's the model of taking over regions and bankrupting them. That's what the EU is an expansion of the Marshall Plan. They say the French model of 87% taxes in one form or another is the global model. 87%. And the little bit of chicken feed you get, there's strings attached to how you can spend that under carbon rules. I'm going to take some calls on the next little short segment. Max Kaiser's then coming on, and we'll continue with calls while he's with us for those that are patiently holding. But you know, last week the FDA came out and said they want to start regulating sugar as if it's a poison. But then they're going to let you have aspartame and bisphenol A and melamine and fluoride, all the real poisons. Now, I'm not saying raw sugar is good for you. A lot of it's obviously bad. Like, I'm not going to drink this Mexican Coke that's absolutely delicious, and I'm lusting after it right now. The guys went to a local Mexican barbecue chicken joint that's just awesome, a million times better than some big chain that soaks their meat in MSG. And they always get these Mexican Cokes that taste like Coke did when I was a kid. But that's another example of people demanding quality and it displacing the corn syrup crud, high fructose corn syrup. Many areas of Austin now, you can't even go in a convenience store and find the modern crud Coke. The Mexican Coke has displaced everything. Just like we voted with our dollars and demanded organic food. The thing is about this Mexican place we go to is it's barbecued, charcoal barbecued, awesome, no preservatives on it, healthy, tastes a million times better than Kentucky Fried Chicken soaked in MSG that gives you a headache for a week or Popeyes or Church's or whatever the case is, and costs less for quality, fresh food made. Now, America used to have stuff like this. Just Mexico's still old-fashioned in some respects, so we have to go and get everything from Mexico because they haven't gotten around to poisoning that culture completely yet when it comes to those areas. We need to go back to Americana, back to what was good. Their hamburgers are good, too, but I'm on this diet, so I'm just eating the chicken. I feel good, too, not eating as much because I'm taking my tangy tangerine. And by the way, incredible products, InfoWarsTeam.com. You want to find the best mineral, vitamin combo supplements like Beyond Tangy Tangerine, Rebound, and others. Check them out and support us when you do it at InfoWarsTeam.com. Believe me, just check it out. Now, here's my next little piece. I already covered it some, and I said I would get into it more detail in this hour. But it's from CBS News. Our report is up on DrudgeReport.com right now as well. TSA forces woman to use naked body scanner 3 times because of a cute figure. Let's go ahead and play part of that clip. And, of course, the TSA will deny it, but they've already been caught doing stuff like this before. If you're good-looking and you're a guy, and it's women sometimes they naked body you and laugh about it, that's on record. And if you're a girl and there's guys and they like it, they naked body scan you. Folks, it's all sexual assault. You know, they say in Denver, women can't fly now because they can't get enough female TSA agents. That's Denver Post. They're saying, yes, if we don't have female screeners to grope you, you can't fly now because you're a terrorist. You're all terrorists. You're the American people. We work for foreign banks. We're actually the terrorists, but we're going to call you terrorists and teach you to feel guilty. And they're saying, well, we don't have any women here today. You can't fly. They're just like, get out of here, sweet cakes. Well, I mean, would it be okay for a man to rape a man? I mean, I don't want anybody grabbing me or my family, you scumbag filth. The one, the only, Max Kaiser coming up, and your call's continuing. Let's go to Nicholas in Illinois right now, and then we'll go to Jay. Nicholas, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hey, Jay, doing a great job, and know it's been logging a lot of company hours. I think you need a little vacay. I'm going to grant you as a fellow shareholder, I think you should get a couple days vacation, you know. It'd be good for you.
Well, you know, the info war never rests, but I am going to be going on the road for a week when I speak in Dallas and then in Florida. But I'll be doing the radio show every day and actually working on the road. This does not work. When a bunch of scum is taking over your society and thinks they're winning, let me tell you, I can't control myself. I don't even see this as work. The problem is I probably work too much and then the quality goes down. But this is not work, my friend. I hate these people, something fierce.
great attitude. But I'm more here not necessarily talk to you, AJ. I want to talk to the closet truthers or the people that are on the fence about this whole truth movement. And I have more disrespect for those people that have been informed to the information but are afraid to speak out than the zombies that never even been exposed to it because they just don't know the information.
Well, I mean, Newsweek admitted that the hijackers were trained at U.S. bases. And I've interviewed the embassy heads that say they were ordered to protect them. The underwear bomber was protected. It's all hiding in plain view. I'm not saying there aren't some Muslim terrorists. My point is that they work for NATO.
Absolutely. What I've personally done to try to awaken people, which I call awakening pamphlets, I've went online and bought some refill Monopoly money, pretty cheap, and just put a little flyer in the back of it asking people to please watch certain YouTube movies such as Loose Change, Final Cut, 9/11, Truth, Hollywood Speaks Out, Obama Deception, and just hand them out to people that I feel need to be awakened. I do frequently hand them out to police officers. You know, I have a little conversation. I'm like, have you heard of this Obama Deception? Supposedly the guy that fired at the White House watched this. So this kind of gets a spark in their head, so maybe they're more likely to watch it. And I think other people need to get active in such little things like this.
Yeah, when you approach military and police, just say, this is a really hot underground video with some really interesting stuff. You know, watch it and, you know, maybe if I see you at this coffee shop again or at the grocery store again, you know, tell me what you think. Or give them your own little business card. Give yourself an organization name, you know, whatever the name of your town is, you know, Happyville for freedom or whatever, or Austinites for liberty. Give them the card with a little blog or website or Facebook on it. Give them a free DVD. Give them some info and say, hey, contact me. Tell me what you think. God bless you. Good to hear from you. Let's go ahead and go to Jay in New York. Jay, you're on the air.
Hello?
Hey, buddy.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Alex?
Yep.
Hi. Wow, you really don't censor anything.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Well, people lie and say all my calls are fake and we screen them, but as you notice, we don't screen them. But go ahead.
And my real concern is about this chemtrails and stuff. My friend found out about this not too long ago, and he just freaked out, and he's just like putting himself in the house, not even coming out and stuff like that.
No, that's silly. You're not going to get away from the aluminum dioxide, barium salts, and other things that way. It's all part of a giant admitted terraforming geoengineering program. And so it's ongoing. You can't hide in the house from it.
One other thing also that I recognized recently is that when I'm actually sleeping at night, I'm hearing this humming noise. What is that? Do you know? Well,
there was the Kokomo hum in Indiana that ABC News reported on about 15 years ago. It's been associated a lot of times with government underground tunneling, where they're building railways will cause a vibrational hum. There's also earthquakes and things that happen super deep that can cause hums. Or it could be a transformer or piece of equipment nearby that's oscillating with your roof or something in your home. And DARPA does admit, and this must give the schizophrenics nightmares, that they have developed systems that go on top cell towers that can affect people's moods, and they're testing these psychotronic weapons on the public. The fact that they're testing them is admitted, but the details are classified.